I could find no better father story, no better story that best exemplifies these rare characteristics and these decision-making choices than this parable right here. Maybe one of the most famed parables in all of Jesus' parables. A parable that is so important that it's actually gone even outside of the Christian context. You can talk to people who don't even believe, who may not even know the idea of Scripture, but they will be able to name and talk about the notion of the prodigal son. And if I can be honest, one of the challenges that I have is depending on how you name the parable tells you what you really think about it. I don't think this is a parable about the prodigal son. This parable actually is about a loving father. Listen to how the parable opens up. Its beginning words tell you what it's about. A man had two sons. This is a story of how a father responds to his children. What makes it so beautiful is that it doesn't try to gloss over real life issues or the challenges that rise up in life, but it shows us a way that you deal with them that almost makes you super. Luke 15, starting at verse 11, and it says, to illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had two sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of your estate now before you die. So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, the younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land, and there he wasted all his money in wild living. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land. He began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into the fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, at home even the hired servants have enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant. So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to his father, Father, I've sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. But his father said to the servants, quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf that we have been fattening. We must celebrate with a feast. For this son of mine was dead and has now returned to life. He was lost, but now he is found. So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field working. When he returned home, he heard the music and dancing in the house, and he asked one of the servants what was going on. Your brother is back, he was told, and your father has killed the fattened calf. We are celebrating because of his safe return. The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, all these years I have slaved for you, and never once refused to do a single thing you told me to. And in all that time, you never gave me even one young goat for a feast with my friends. And yet this son of yours comes back after squandering your money on prostitutes, and you celebrate by killing the fattened calf. His father said to him, look, dear son, you have always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found.